pack your Raid, your Scorpion anti-venom, and never eat at Ellen's Cafe. We're taking a motorhome to Albany through Damnation Alley. This is Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness. Woohoo! Stinker Madness! It's Sam and Jackie and Justin.
Yay!
And Damnation Alley.
Damnation Alley. Jam Michael Vincent. Man, George.
JMV. I'm going to start calling him
JMV. Actually, I wrote that in my notes too. I think he is JMV. That's it. That's a good way of putting him. Yeah, Damnation Alley. Post-apocalyptic, crazy business, sort of.
Almost, not really.
Almost not really. Like, some things happen in this movie.
Yeah, they drive around for an hour and a half. If you love truckers, it's awesome.
Would you call this a road trip movie? Because that's basically what it is. Let's take a road trip. Yeah, there's some things that don't pay off, and there's some things that don't make any sense. Actually, the whole movie doesn't make any sense. Like, the main thing that I have a problem with is why. Like, why is it, why did the world get exploded?
Well, I think that's the way that we justify that we would only shoot back. At the beginning of this movie, like, all missiles are coming, we should shoot ours too.
Did we shoot ours, or did we just fire...
They shot at least 10.
Yeah, they said base. 10 missiles and only stopped 40% of the missile attack.
No, that's different. The counter missiles, I mean, it was pretty easy, I thought, to understand. They had counter missiles, and that only worked 40%, and then they shot their missiles too. And that's what Michael Vincent and...
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah,
I think
Michael
that they
Vincent
shot the counter missiles.
No, they did not shoot. They wouldn't have shot... The counter missiles didn't come from... They came from the Canadian border. They were down at Edwards Air Force Base in California.
You think that's where they're at? Doesn't say that.
He says Barstow. He can get to Barstow on a motorcycle. There's an Air Force base right by there called Edwards, and that's the only one.
Well, maybe... How come they don't have, like, a missile tracker graphic for their missiles?
I don't know, but Canada is fucked in this situation because all of the missiles blow up over Canada.
Well, they don't get detonated nuclearly. It's just some shit falls out of the sky. You blow up a nuclear weapon, it doesn't
kill some
detonate.
Eskimos.
It just blows up the missile. So they're not fucked.
Well, either way, they got a lot of trash on their property now.
That's, which
all of Canada is covered in missile trash.
40% of the original missile volume in trash now.
That's right. Canada's like, you sons of bitches, who's going to clean this up?
Well, they show the graphic. I should have wrote down the cities, but they say pretty much the entire eastern seaboard gets exploded.
They just started naming off major cities. Denver gets exploded.
I didn't see anything. St. Louis, but I didn't see anything about anything in California getting exploded.
No.
It seemed like California wasn't one of the explosion areas, but you warp into the future and it's pretty crappy in California.
Yeah.
Pretty crappy where they're at. Like, it's not really the California desert. It's more of a desert where all there is sand. That's it. Does nuclear fallout create sand?
I guess.
Huh.
Well, it sort of tilted the axis, so it changed the weather patterns, which is why they had, 15 minutes of fucked up psychedelic sky stuff, like, right after all the bombs went off, and I was like, what is going on? This was so terrible.
Well, I think that the atmosphere is actually very pretty.
So did you
Some
think
of it is, yeah.
that the atmosphere, the post-production work that they did made the sky look better so much as it made the rest of the film look worse?
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't see what was going on. Like, all the shots get, like, kind of underexposed and screwed up from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't really...
And everybody
outside, you can't see what's going on.
Everybody has blue glowing hair.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know,
which is just a byproduct of the matting process.
Yeah. So, yeah, but the weather's not really that bad for the most part. Like, they go outside and they're dinking around. He's riding around on his motorcycle and having a good time and showboating and picking up dolls. Mannequins. So, it seems like it's a better place because the sky's now pretty and they can still just fuck off and not do anything. Really.
That's kind of...
it wasn't the worst apocalyptic...
post-apocalyptic.
movie thing that I've ever seen. It was like, people weren't dressed in rags with sticks for swords and shit like that.
I don't know. The guys at Ellen's Cafe look pretty shitty.
Yeah, they were pretty shitty.
Yeah, but they still have regular clothes on.
Do you mean, wait, those were their regular clothes?
Yeah, dude. You can tell they were all hillbilly redneck motherfuckers.
This is what they were wearing before the bombs fell?
Yeah, they were like, this is my best shirt.
They were on their way to church.
That's right. And then they were going to have breakfast at Ellen's, and then the bomb went off, and they were like, fuck it, we're not going to church now.
Well, if we're going to hang out anywhere, might as well be Ellen's Cafe.
That's right.
We're here all the time anyways.
And none of us like lollipops. Because there's still some of those left.
After 2 years, those things have got to be kind of curmudgeony.
Curmudgeony?
I would think that would be the one thing that would do okay.
Twinkies and lollipops?
Lollipops.
Yeah, lollipops are probably pretty hard to nuke. Anyways, so the 123rd Strategic Missile Wing guys are down there. They shoot back, according to Sam. I'm still not getting that at all. The world blows up. The sky gets pretty.
We forgot a very key plot element. That George Papard doesn't like JMV.
No, they don't. He doesn't like him. It seems like JMV is fine with George Papard, but...
Well, I think he is just getting by day to day. Like, this is what I have to do. I sign up to the Air Force. I have to deal with bullshit. I'm dealing with bullshit. And Papard's like, I don't like the cut of your jib. And that's it.
Yeah, he tells him, you're going to get... I'm replacing you. I'm getting a roster.
And it seems like JMV does his job just fine.
Yeah.
He pushes buttons and repeats commands back very, very efficiently.
Yeah, and thank God he remembered his keys at work that day.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, he didn't leave his keys at home the day that the missiles all went off. He's like, I can't open the lock. How the secret instructions because I forgot my keys. My wife's bringing them.
I think the movie should have been the JMV showed up to work the next day with a hangover and was just a worthless turd, and his sole job was preventing World War III and the explosion of the Earth. And because he was all hungover and still drunk, he pushed the wrong button and didn't prevent it. Then Papard would have something to not like him for. But really, he just seems like, oh,
yes. You know what? I tend to agree with Papard. I think he's an asshole.
What does he do?
Well, he just looks like an asshole.
He does look like an asshole.
And then he fucking hot dogs it all over the place with his motorcycle.
Wouldn't you?
And kicks a scorpion. Which is, I think, one of my biggest problems with this movie, is that it starts out pretty hot. Like, a guy's riding around on a motorcycle, kicking scorpions. They're not even giant scorpions, they're like dog-sized scorpions. Yeah. So he's riding around and, freewheeling it, and then he kicks the scorpion, you're like, this is gonna be amazing, and then it kind of loses steam after that.
No, and he's like, time to get off, bitch, and he pushes Dave off the motorcycle, and then you're like, wow, what a dick.
What a total dick. And then he burns out on the mannequin as well, which at the time I was like, that's a lady.
It's a mannequin. Oh, I tricked you, friend. Black friend.
So I like that he's not enlisted anymore, but he still gets an M16.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they still have a hut on the base.
So we're not going to be in the military anymore. Okay, you can have that hut over there.
Let's break this down a little bit. The world's blown up. It's 2 years later is what we're to, I think, because at some point somebody says it's 2 years or something.
I don't remember how many years it said, but it just said that, like, after blah, 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 people are starting to try to repopulate, and then these guys are too. And then the movie kind of starts.
So why did he go to town? I'm to infer that gas is not common in
you can drive
Earth.
You can drive a Landmaster to
Albany on a single tank.
New York. They have to stop and get gas in Salt Lake,
but they don't.
I think you probably get some gas.
They tried to get gas.
I think they get some gas. Because he's in there getting gas for a while before Paul Winfield decides to...
token. Before he gets eaten by the...
He's like, oh, I have perfect evidence that people died in those cars, but I think it would be a good place for me to hide.
Yeah.
When the killer scorpion...
We're glossing over a lot of stuff. I assume that the Landmaster gets about 2 gallons to the mile.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That thing cannot be fuel efficient. So they're using all the gas.
Because even when they... But what the hell in the movie, they asked the one guy, asked the second dead guy.
No, he was the first dead guy.
The first dead guy, well, other than the other billions of people that died. The first dead guy we see actually die.
Which isn't true, but...
No, we see those
other
the
bunkers get blown up.
The bunkers get blown up, and the guy that causes the explosion from jerking off to a feverish climax. And then I jerked off so hard I have to smoke a cigarette, and it passes me out from my furious jerk.
That's right.
In the explosives room.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement for you two that you guys probably weren't aware of, that if you jerk off really hard to some schmut, and then you're smoking, you don't smoke in bed and then just let it fall on your nudie magazine, or you will be exploded.
I wrote
public
down
service announcement. They're doing the world a favor with this movie.
That you can't do jerk ciggies. Like, you have to like, there's special moments, and you can't have a cigarette unless you actually have sex. If you have a cigarette after jerking off, you're cheating only yourself.
Maybe
that's right. And then that other person won't be there to save you when you drop your cigarette on the nudie magazine.
You should either guard the explosives or jerk off, but not both.
A lot of things to learn in that. The more you know commercial, just in that 30-second movie
Well,
trip.
anyways, I want to go back to JMV on the motorcycle going into town and picking up a mannequin. What was his mission? To go to town and pick up a mannequin?
He wasn't having a mission. He's not in the military
He just
anymore.
says, fuck it, I'm going to get on a bike and cruise around town. And
yeah, he was going to go to Barstow because he was bored.
Go to Tashi Station and get some power converters.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, did he bring the whiskey back with him? Is that what he brought back?
I don't know.
That's all I can guess. Is that
I thought he brought back a mannequin.
Well, yeah, because the next time you see him, they're like hanging out, having a party, drinking Jack Daniels, and I'm like,
semen-covered mannequin.
He must have rode into Barstow to get whiskey and cigarettes,
and then stopped off halfway down the road.
But he at least knows
a wooden lady.
Not to smoke them after jacking off. Now, here's an interesting question, because he says he kisses the mannequin, and we all like, oh, yeah, you had sex with it. Or you tried to, and then you're like, this hurts my wiener. And, dunk. Yeah, this isn't working at all.
Not an anatomically correct mannequins.
Yeah. So, do you get a cigarette after that?
I don't know. Why not?
Why not?
Depends. If there's no nudie magazine around, then it's okay according to this public service announcement that we heard of.
Yeah, maybe that's why he was showboating on the motorcycle, is he was actually shit-faced after banging the mannequin and drinking whiskey, and that was just how he actually drives when he's drunk. Well, either way, he kicks a scorpion in the face.
He kicks a scorpion. And the scorpion
doesn't look good.
Doesn't care.
No.
Like, nor does the scorpion care. Do any of them care about him? Like, we're like, oh no, dog-sized scorpions that don't care about people on
they're
motorcycles.
not hurting anything. But there's like a shitload of them for some reason, just like...
In that one scene,
just
because they're not around there.
Groups of two.
Yeah, just all of a sudden, they're everywhere.
They look terrible.
Oh yeah, they look real bad.
Everything in this movie
They might as well have put a scorpion on a popsicle stick and just moved it.
Well, that's what they do with the cockroaches later. They just like
put them on a popsicle stick and just moved it through the thing.
Like a net of some sort. And
you
just
can
drag
see
it
that they were glued down too to keep them in the shot.
Yeah,
like they'll move around still if we glue them to the cement, but they'll be in the shot because they've been leaving the shots every time we set them down, and they just go wherever they want.
It's hard to bring
cockroaches.
7 million cockroaches.
Goddamn cockroaches! It's like they have a union or something.
Have either of you seen a major Hollywood studio release a movie that looks this bad ever?
And think it's going to be the thing.
The thing that isn't Star Wars. I can't think of a single movie that looks worse from a major Hollywood studio. It looks terrible.
It looks terrible.
The effects are so bad.
They're like, the sky needs to be orange in this scene. Put on the orange lens, Bob.
The hurricane looks terrible.
Fox isn't a major studio in 1977. It's a redheaded stepchild of Hollywood.
It's not exactly Magnet.
No, but they're not. They're not Paramount or MGM.
No.
Or Warner. They're down the street doing silly movies.
They're off
Star
Hollywood.
Wars, which they still are like, oh, we should have done better on Star Wars.
We
have a studio.
Should have been Damnation Alley. I really like that movie.
So why did they have to go to Albany, New York?
No, I don't know.
He says that's the
that didn't get a missile destruct.
No, they didn't get. Yeah, they didn't get a signal. That was his quote unquote. It's the only place where we didn't get a signal. Wouldn't you want a signal? Like
maybe the signal was
Morse code, or
we got blown up.
Yeah,
it's the blown up signal. Ding! We've set up everything to Send a signal if it gets blown up, and everywhere except here is sent the blown up signal.
That's the post-apocalyptic protocol. Is instead of the people that are alive getting on the radio, all the dead people are sending out "we're dead" pings.
The absence of people on the radio sends out the "didn't make it."
You check your Twitter account, and it's just "I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm
yeah.
dead, I'm dead." Oh well, the one guy that didn't say "I'm dead," we're gonna go find him. Dumb.
But he just forgot his password to Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is there the Landmaster?
I couldn't tell, because it seems like they were building the Landmaster.
I don't think that they were. How is he...
Yeah, and then later he says it was designed, not I designed it. Because it's either...
It was top secret military information.
Air Force. They're in the Air Force.
Well, you notice it did have wings on it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe those were like floaters.
Oh, they were wings.
Like those...
Like ever that thing was going to be able to go.
You put on your arms when you're learning how to swim?
They were wings.
You got those when you were learning how to swim? My parents just threw me in or like...
Oh, yeah, I insisted on getting the water wings because I thought they made me look like I had muscles. Oh. So I would stick them under my shirt and just walk around.
Wow.
Like He-Man. That was my He-Man outfit, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why the Air Force would have two Landmasters that were specifically designed to traverse Damnation Alley.
The scorched earth.
Yeah, like that's all they're good for. They got rockets, they got wings.
And then sink real nice, but then float.
But they can dig in, too. And I don't really know what the digging
in didn't seem to work too good.
No, it doesn't work.
Because it was like...
Because that's when we get the first guy killed.
We gotta dig in, and then he hits a button that says jacks. And it starts jacking itself up, which doesn't make any sense.
I think it jacks itself off. Because it doesn't do anything.
And then it doesn't make it.
Yeah.
If you jack off in this movie, you don't make it.
No. The Landmaster doesn't make it. They wreck two of them, or they wreck one of them. So they only built one. See, that was the only thing that I thought that looked good in this movie.
Was when you actually had two of them in one shot.
On the same screen. I couldn't really see any matte work there.
Even though it didn't happen. It was a split screen, probably.
Probably, yeah.
But still, with trees and stuff, you can't hardly do that because you can see the line.
No, it wasn't because there was a scene where they drove the Landmaster, like
around,
the road was
right
like
over
this.
the front of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how they did that.
I don't know either, because it looked alright. I couldn't really see anything.
And it is claimed that there was only one of those built.
There was. I triple confirmed that. The Landmaster is privately owned right now after an auction in 2005 for an undisclosed amount. It didn't sell at auction. Somebody bought it after the auction at an undisclosed amount. So I'm assuming it was probably not cheap. But then it didn't meet its reserve to begin with.
It did wasn't sold at the auction.
That's true. But it was probably a pretty... Well, shit, I don't know. But either way, you can see it every now and then at some place in California. Last time it was out and about. It's restored fully and was at some show in San Francisco a couple years ago.
Restored, huh? So the shower works in it still?
Yeah, well, I wonder. Well, you said that it was an old RV, right?
I thought that they used an RV to, like an Airstream trailer to make this.
Which have bathrooms. So that was probably just the bathroom that was in it.
Well, you figure by the time it gets... Because it has to, like, have... The steering has to work hydraulically on the frame because there's no steering on the damn thing. The wheels can't turn because there's two of them up front, and it has a breech in the middle. So all I can assume is that breech in the middle is for pistons to actually make the vehicle move the front away from the back so that it can actually turn.
Yeah.
Which means that by the time you get doing something like that, there's probably nothing left in the Airstream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be really curious to see how the Landmaster actually functions, but not curious enough. So they're now on their way to Albany for some reason. Like that's just the plan.
Hope.
They blow up the air base.
It's Hope Town,
which
USA,
also doesn't
but
make
not
any
Hope,
sense.
Oregon, because Hope, Oregon is a place where the sheriff's a major dickhead.
Okay.
Rambo. First Blood was in Hope, Hope, Oregon was Rambo.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Brian Dennehy gives him a ride out of town. That son of a bitch.
Why? Okay, so they blow up the base, and Jan Michael Vincent runs out of another building and says, "Hey, that building's on fire. Why can't you just stay in the building you were in?"
I don't know.
Because they got invited to go on this adventure in this sweet Airstream.
So they just said, "Fuck it, we got these Landmasters. Let's
well,
just
I thought
go.
Papard was like he pulled one of the Landmasters up, and was like, "You can come or you can go, but we're going. You're not doing anything else. But I'm in charge." And then it shows a shot of Paul Winfield and JMV, and they look like a couple of honey boys. Like, they're dressed up like...
They look like dorks.
Yeah.
And, like, oh, they're honey boys. And then all of a sudden you have Papard go, I'm splitting you up, and you're going with the other guy, and JMV, you're coming with me. And that's what I'm thinking, that there's going to be some post-apocalyptic man-on-man... I'm a topper, you're a bottom love. Because he splits up the honey boys.
Right, absolutely.
That, I guess, the technically military protocol would dictate that someone in charge should be in charge of each vehicle, but at that point, he's just kind of
Paul
going
Winfield's
on his...
big thing?
What was it he painted?
No. What movie was he in that was the big...
Well, he was Martin Luther King Jr. in the
he was some action movie. Wasn't he in... was he in Alien?
I don't know.
I remember him getting blown up or melted or something like that.
Yeah, he has a real bad death in a movie, and I can't remember what it is. It's not this one.
I think he has a bad death in this one.
Well, no, I mean, like, it's
no picnic.
It was silly, though. Like, you actually feel for him in the movie that I'm thinking of.
No, I didn't. I remember him getting blown up, and it was silly in some other movie. But anyways, moving on. So they take the two Landmasters.
Is he in Platoon? Does he die horribly?
No, it's a B movie. It's a B movie that he gets exploded in. So they go to Albany, or they're on their way to Albany. The first problem that they run into is, let's just call it what it is. It's a Sharknado, and but it's like 18 tornadoes all over the place. That's like, okay, this is stupid. This movie is dumb.
Driving around the tornadoes.
So they're in Edwards Air Force Base.
Yeah.
They hit some tornadoes, and then they end up in Las Vegas, like, not very long after that. So there's tornadoes all over California now.
Yeah, well, Edwards is inland from the coastline pretty good.
Are there tornadoes in California?
No, but the world has been tilted on its axis. All bets are off.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, now, so there's 18 tornadoes that they have to face. Jan Michael Vincent's plan is to just drive through it. Because he's an asshole. Asleep. He's snoozing in the back.
He's sleeping through 18 tornadoes.
He didn't really sound sleeper.
Well, it's probably just... That hunk of shit probably just makes so much noise, be it in a storm or not. It sounds about the same.
Yeah. I'm passing out either way. So the other Landmaster's plan is to dig in, like we said. They dig in, doesn't work. They get, like, not even 2 minutes into the storm, they get flipped all over the place. Thomas Lennon dies, because that's who the other guy looked like. Looked like Thomas Lennon from Reno 911. And he dies because he's got some blood on his neck. I guess he gets a broken neck? I don't really know.
Yeah, dies.
He just dies. Fell down, dies.
They broke his nose and he didn't want to be horribly disfigured, so he just ended it all when no one was looking.
Just held his breath for a really long time. Paul Winfield then has to...
He scuffs his knee really bad.
Yeah, well, that was the other stupid thing. They decided... Jan Michael Vincent gets through. Like, yeah, that's how you do it, is you drive right through it, because I'm the man. But then immediately they turn around and go back. Like, we just made it through. 4 seconds later, we're going back in, because now we got to find Paul Winfield and the other Landmaster.
Who then is out of radio range. They can't get any radio to work, but he shooets a missile right in front of him.
Right in front of him. Know,
I'm over here, and he's about 60 feet away, so they're not good radios.
No, but they can reach Albany.
Well, that was good weather.
Signals from...
You notice it just sort of came on, too, because it was probably on the fritz the whole time.
Yeah. So, they pick up Paul Winfield, who's got a bruised shin.
He's bleeding, but at the same time, he's like, I'll be fine, and then he's walking with barely a limp.
Yeah, never comes back to play.
But they ripped his pants real nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does have the ripped pants for the rest
pants.
His sweet post-Memorial Day... Or is it Labor Day?
I don't remember.
Labor Day.
I don't know either. So then they stop off in Vegas for some good times. Because why? They just decided to have, hey, we're here.
Because they're idiots.
And, did anybody else notice that the only hotel you could see in that entire shot, even when they did the panoramic view, was the Circus Circus? And I was like, oh, so I guess we're going to Circus Circus, and then 2 seconds later, whoa, this is Circus Circus, let's go in there.
It's the smallest casino floor ever in Las Vegas.
But that was a big deal in
1976
or 70. When they shot this was probably 75. Isn't that right around when that got built?
Circus?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably.
You think Circus paid for that?
Well, it was just it was the new thing.
Promotion in one of the worst movies ever made. Nice work.
Yeah, it didn't pan out for him.
Well,
there were some other products that were, I thought, put in there that you're like, oh, did you want to be in this movie?
You know what really pissed me off about the Circus, though, is that, like, they started playing the slot machines and all of a sudden they put in this dubbed, like, people having fun. And
the casino sound effects.
Yeah, like the casino is coming back alive, and I'm like, no, it's just 3 guys and a bucket of quarters.
Non-diegetic audience or atmosphere sounds.
Yeah, it was just weird.
It didn't fit with the whole movie at all.
Well, but other stuff fits with this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
giant scorpions and the implied rape. So they find the gal.
A very trusting woman.
A very French trusting
Is
woman.
she French or German?
I don't know.
I thought she was French and that she was there to write songs, and she admits being a whore. She's like, well, I gave this guy a handy, and then right before I was going to get my end of it, he had a heart attack and died.
And it turns out I can't sing for shit anyway, so...
Yeah, so then I figured that my dream was over. And I'm like, wow, what a crappy story. I think I would have met strangers. I would have left that part out about giving somebody a handy and then them having a heart attack.
Yeah, her accent was basically just marbles in her mouth.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. When she was on the loudspeaker, she just kind of went, call Billy on the loudspeaker. Okay. What?
He comes from...
Okay.
That's the official,
here I am.
That's the official Billy call. So she decides to hop in the van with them because...
That's the good thing to do.
3 men are never rapists in post-apocalyptic
Well, she
America.
runs up and just starts hugging him like, this is going to not work out for you.
And then
well, obviously she plays it fast and loose.
She's the Paul Winfield's like, oh, she knows the Colonel, but she doesn't. I don't know how that.
And then she mauls the next guy, and then she gets to the last white guy, and she's like, nope, fuck you.
Yeah.
JMV. He's
Well,
like,
you
come
can
on,
tell he
baby,
looks like an asshole.
leaving me with a semi. I just got done humping a mannequin. Time to hump you like a dog does. Just latch onto your leg and just shake violently until I'm done.
Well, that's probably what's good for on her end, is that after 2 years of him just kind of ramming his penis into the side of a mannequin, he might have forgot how to actually do it, and he just kind of pokes her with his wiener for about 3 minutes and then falls over.
Time for a smoke.
You got any Jack Daniels?
Did you notice the incredible amount of post-apocalyptic cigarettes in this movie?
Yeah, everybody always has cigarettes.
And that's not even a problem. They never run out of cigarettes, ever, which is going to be the very first thing that goes. People are killing each other over the last bit of Marlboros, but these guys are just like, smoke them if you got them.
I'm just saying, if I was real paranoid about the end of the world, I would go out.
US...
You guys are talking over each other. Jackie goes first.
Yeah, I started first, Dick. So, I was just going to say, if there was ever, like, you know what, we're probably going to blow up tomorrow. To the store, buy every pack of Marlboros I can find.
Absolutely. That unquestionable, you know something bad's going to happen. The zombies are... You hear a report, zombies are coming. You head straight to the smoke shop and get all of them.
Yeah, get all of the liquor and the cigarettes you can.
The liquor, not so... I mean, you can carry a lot more cigarettes, and they have a much more higher value in a post-apocalyptic world than liquor does. Because you can make liquor on your own. As Sam showed us. You cannot make cigarettes on your own. The tobacco fields have burned down. There's not going to be any more cigarettes. There will always be more liquor.
And then if some tramp in the woods was like, hey, you guys have any extra smokes? I'd be like, no. Go fuck yourself, tramp in the woods.
And then you would eat her.
That's right. I'd stone her to death over a pack of Marlboros.
Right, and then eat her because it's a post-apocalyptic world. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, the deer are too fast for me.
Yeah. What were you saying, Sam?
Oh, just that I thought that the military, up until a certain point, had a lot of cigarettes. Because they were giving them out in World War I, too.
Oh, that's true.
Zing, zing, zing. Vietnam, here's cigarettes. So if they were Air Force guys in the 70s, they should have had a lot of cigarettes. Mm-hmm. I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, they play poker with their cigarettes. Those are bets. Because that's what they got.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the, this is going to be a segue, but did you hear about the prison infiltration via robotic helicopter? Remote-controlled robotic helicopter?
No, I haven't.
Well, the guys in prison are always smoking, right? They get cigarettes somehow. The guards, the laundry guys, whatever. They always have cigarettes, and it never gets explained to me. But apparently, somebody took a remote-control helicopter and packed it full of cell phones and weed, and then tried to fly it into in over the prison walls and crashed it up real nice.
Oh, duh!
Didn't even make it close. They just flew it right into the side of the building, and the guard's standing right there.
Well, I mean, let's say it all goes according to plan, and the guard's like, "Is that a teeny helicopter holding a net full of cell phones and weed?" Yes, Charles, I believe that is. We should do something about that.
Let's go get that. That looks awesome. Never would have worked. Dumb criminals are so stupid sometimes. I swear to God. Maybe just people are stupid, but it seems like they're always really dumb criminals.
But those things don't have like a big range, right? To be able to control them. So some jackass out in his car in the parking lot.
I can't even get them 6 feet off the ground without running them into something.
Like your own face. Helicoptered.
3 feet away, this guy's standing there with the remote going, "Oh, that didn't work." And he's like, trying to get back to his car before the police are like, "Hey,
no,
buddy."
They caught him. He's now in jail. Because he's dipshit. I just imagine some kingpin sitting in prison like, I will have all the power if I can get cell phones and pot in here. How will I do that? Via remote control helicopter. So they go to Salt Lake because they got to get gas, and they gotta go through the Rockies. The Damnation Alley takes them right through the Rockies, which never pays off because they never have some trouble traversing the Rockies. They just skip the whole Rockies thing.
Yeah, they do. They end up at like Nebraska or something,
which also doesn't make sense because
actually they never leave Southern California. So
true. Denver gets nuked. Didn't there be fallout and crappiness right in that
Salt
area?
Lake?
Well, no, through the Rockies. Like if they're going from Salt Lake to the Rockies.
I don't know. He never really puts a map of Damnation Alley on screen.
Why is Damnation Alley so pleasant?
Well, because it's 100 miles wide of non-radiation.
I don't know.
I don't know either, and I don't know why Detroit's part of it.
Yeah.
Salt Lake and Detroit, like, yes, you've named cities that are further east of California.
Yeah.
But,
good job.
Yep.
So I love how they still have the Mormon temple, too. They make it a point to drive past the Mormon temple.
Mormon
it's
temple
still there.
Up. It's good. Everything else is crappy. There's no peoples.
The thing that I don't get either with the cockroaches when they get to Salt Lake is it shows the gas pump is missing
the hose,
and the cars are missing the tires. So have the cockroaches been eating the rubber?
That's what I think.
Because they're
hungry cockroaches.
And they can eat people too.
Which tires don't just have rubber; they're steel-belted radials.
Yes, they are.
That's not really.
But these were indestructible. They tried to step on it.
Is steel belted as well. Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Really stupid. What's we here? Okay.
What?
She said something. I was like, "What did you say?"
Now she's just looking at us like we're weird.
I don't talk in this show. Unless it's with a really marbled French accent.
Get in the thing!
Get in the thing. Get in the thing. So, cockroaches show up. Well, first they find the dead bodies that are just a pile of bones inside of a car. And they're very cleaned bones. And
the nicest bones you've ever seen.
Yeah, they're super, super nice bones. Hey guys, look at this. So
if I ever am attacked by giant cockroaches, I will just get into the nearest car
that is filled with giant cockroaches,
or that's filled with the victims of giant cockroaches, and accept my own demise. Well, When in Rome.
Wouldn't some like other bug been like more convincing other than cockroaches?
Well, remember we tried to step on it, and he can't step on it because it's armored.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they're like super powered cockroaches, even though they're really just about the same size as.
All they really needed were capes, flying in the wind as they're running towards the
laser vision.
Yeah,
as they're glued to the concrete so that they will stay in the shot.
They're like, fan man!
And then they're still getting off. Like, you can't get it to hold still long enough for the glue to set.
No. No. And then Jan Michael Vincent can just run over them. It's fine. He can drive over the top of them on his motorcycle without wrecking.
And they didn't
he can
seem
drive
to
upstairs
have
too.
any interest in George Papard whatsoever.
Not at all. He's up there gassing up, finds a hose and a spot.
Yeah.
The hole in the ground where they fill it up. So he
makes the token black guy stick his hand down there.
Yeah, who pulls his arm out and it's filled with cockroaches.
They've latched on.
Yeah.
They're eating him.
So they barely get any gas.
Which they...
You don't know, they probably got a lot of gas, and then the guy was like, dude, just stand out there for 15 more minutes to keep the cockroaches away from the truck.
He's in there smoking, taking a break. I'm getting eaten by cockroaches. Still smoking. Well, alright, just keep pumping gas.
Yeah. Well, it's not like...
Gotta make it over the Rockies.
Paul Winfield does anything to, like, have George Papard help him. He doesn't say, help me. He doesn't go the 3 feet to the back door of the Landmaster and be like, look at me. I'm covered in cockroaches that are eating me. No, he gets into somebody's car and closes the door. And accepts his own death.
Yeah, on top of other people's skeletons.
On top of other people's skeletons. It's like,
not even a comfortable place to get eaten by cockroaches.
I think I'm just gonna go die like these people did. This is the way to do it, as I understand it. You do it inside of a car.
Well, then Papard can come out and look. Like, he just runs to the car and opens up the door.
He had a fire extinguisher.
Oh, that's right. The fire extinguisher sprays them off.
Which doesn't do anything.
No.
It just startles them temporarily.
Just make them covered in white stuff.
And then he kind of looks in the car like, yay. He makes an icky face, and then he was like, well, I should go now.
It's a little icky.
You're fucked.
Yeah,
like, you might just not be passed out from the pain of the cockroach bites, but...
And then he like, really delicately closes the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to damage the door or bother him dying.
I don't want to disturb this.
Yeah. Just go now on my merry way.
Well, Jan Michael Vincent and Marblemouth are riding around inside the casino still.
They went into Gregory's.
Yeah, Gregory's.
Like, let's go to a high-end department store.
He's now showboating again. Yeah, what were they on duty to get? What were they picking up?
Everything that they don't sell at Gregory's.
Yeah, he was supposed to be getting food and shit, and he's like, let's go to Gregory's and see if we can't find you a new bikini, madam.
So that I can jam my wiener against your knee a couple of times and then fall over in ecstasy.
So Paul Winfield's now dead. They drive off.
And then there was 3.
Yeah, they drive off and across the Rockies because the next area they get to where they stop is pretty flat. It seems like it's farmlandish, so we're to infer that it's the Midwest.
I'm guessing.
And they find a house to check out because they've never passed another house ever their whole time driving. Let's check out this house.
Well, yeah, like he can see, he's like, check this out. Like he sees the kid inside there, and it's like, how do you do that?
With his,
I thought it was going to turn into a little bit of The Hills Have Eyes at this point.
The kid was going to take him to someplace dangerous, and
yeah, like the mutants were going to start coming out, and they were going to rape her, and then she was going to have a dead baby, and oh wait, that is The Hills Have Eyes. Anyway, but I kind of thought there was going to be some Hills Have Eyes business, but no.
It was kind of like the Ellen's Cafe mutated rednecks were kind of crappy, but
were they mutated or were they just?
No, they were just
scabby.
Scabby.
They kept scratching their faces and stuff.
What takes them to ecstasy is face scratching.
They just got tired of having to wrap their head up in a towel when they walk through the sandstorm, so they just let it blow their skin off. Screw it.
He just got done doing a dermatology treatment.
I don't like the way this makes my hair look. But I don't care about the way that the sandstorm and the rocks make my face look.
Well, they find this kid who's
He's fucking Roger Clemens of throwing rocks. He's got gaze coming out everywhere.
He hits JMV in the numbers
twice
from 50 yards with rocks, which, no. That's really hard to do. And then it pays off later, too.
Like, some pretty big rocks, too. I mean, the kid's got an arm.
This kid is a formidable adversary in the wasteland, because if he hits you in the noggin with one of those things, you go down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, this kid... Usually, in movies like this, the kid is just shit. He's worthless.
Yeah.
A liability. And
he's just eating your food and using up your water and toilet paper.
Kidnapped, and you gotta go rescue him, and then somebody dies on the rescue mission. No, this kid probably should just he should kick all three of those assholes out and just take the Landmaster to fucking Chuck E. Cheese or whatever this kid likes to do.
But he's an orphan, because his mom dies, and he never really says how his mom dies, but then his dad broke both of his legs and died in a canyon.
Mm-hmm. Tragic.
Totally tragic. Hard luck case.
Before teaching him how to be, to stop rapings and throw rocks real nice.
Those are the two most important plans, son, in your life.
Yeah, before I die, I want to pass some things on to you. Let's get this rock training going on. Just in case you ever see a lady getting raped by a piano, this is how you stop it. So, pick up this kid, driving along, new. Go to Ellen's Cafe, which is just a cafe out in the middle of nowhere. There's not even any other fucking buildings around it. It's just a cafe. Was there even a road?
It was like a gas station cafe thing.
Yeah, they were gonna get more gas.
Oh, which they don't.
Right, because they're trying to fix the generator. Generator can't be fixed. She goes in and starts playing the piano, which is just like, hey, everybody, there's somebody else in this building. Like, obviously somebody lives there because the place is pretty clean.
It's pretty clean. It's not wrecked at all. Tables just chill up. It's not dusty. Piano's sort of in tune after 2 years of just sitting there.
It's odd, that usually your pack of roving maniacs wouldn't keep such a nice establishment, but apparently they'd like to rape and pillage, but they also like to have nice things.
Mm-hmm. They have bridge on Sunday at Ellen's Cafe.
That's right.
Bring out the tea. Pip, pip. Who's going to tell us a story tonight, sir? Oh, we can't have story time. We have to rape. It's raping time, boys.
I found this mannequin. Let's buy some scorpions. Let's do it.
It's got this weird dent in it from where its vagina would be. It's shaped perfectly like Jan Michael Vincent's wiener. I don't get that, but whatever. Let's have our way with it anyways.
Free mannequin.
His penis looks like the end of a steak that's been hammered too many times. It's all mushroomed out from just ramming into things.
Like a pug's face.
Yeah.
It's just smashed.
Hey, that's weird.
Weird dick, dude.
That's why he never takes a shower during this film. He's embarrassed.
Or actually try to put the moves on French marble mouth.
He's like, oh, my weenie.
So the pack of roving maniacs split them up. Take JMV and Papard out to the Landmaster
to show the audience how worthless the heroes are.
Yeah, and now it's time to...
But they're all wearing pretty nice shirts, like we said earlier in this broadcast.
They were dressed like lumberjacks. Wasn't that
That
nice?
one guy had a sweet vest on with a white shirt.
Huh.
Okay. It's time to shoot Papard and JMV, but you have to show us how to work this Landmaster first. How do you work this crazy thing, Jane? Then the kid is like, fuck you guys, you can't catch me, jumps out the window.
He just wants lollipops.
Comes back in, says, hey, I would just want a lollipop, and the guy's like, oh, okay, I'll stop mid-rape and go over and get you one, as long as you get the hell out of here. This is like, no,
you're not
go get it one and then get the hell out of here. Or don't get one. I don't know, but it didn't make any sense. Kid throws a rock, hits him in the head, he's dead.
He's not dead because he's moaning when the other guy comes back.
Oh, well,
yeah.
He's unhappy.
He took like a 4-pound rock to the noggin. I think that we all would be about as happy as him. Concussed and bleeding on the ground.
So then the kid goes back out to the trailer and is like, hey, that guy wants you. Go in there. Okay, so they go in there, except for leaving two guys. JMV pulls a gun, shoots two of them in the face.
The kid gives JMV the gun.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, without Billy, none of this happens.
None of this would happen.
He's the linchpin of the escape.
That's right. So JMV shoots a guy in the neck and the other guy in the eyeball. And then she gets out of the Ellen's Cafe, and Papard's like, fuck this shit, launches the missiles at it,
and he waits for her to get just far enough away to get blown
to
over.
Safety. Yeah.
Then he runs out and gets her, get
and then
up, bitch.
she hands him, and he takes his gun back before he helps her up.
These guys are the most wasteful wasteland walkers I've ever seen.
They don't know
launching missiles to kill one guy who's probably already not a problem. Just drive off. Seriously, just drive off. Get in the minivan and drive off. Don't need to waste bullets. If lesson 1 of the Wasteland listeners, don't waste anything.
So you think, speaking of if Gregory's paid, or do you think, or Circus, how about Texas Instruments?
Oh, the TI calculator.
Do you think that the Texas Instrument desk calculator,
puncher in her,
that's the guidance system for the Landmaster, do you think that they either 1, paid to have that in there, or 2, tried to sue them to get it, you didn't ask us to put our Texas Instruments calculator in your pile of crap movie?
Which is stupid, because why...
It's obviously a calculator.
We're in Albany. We're in California. We're going to Albany. It's that away. And just start driving that way.
Well, no, but their Damnation Alley is a harsh route to navigate.
So... You put in the coordinates into the Texas Instrument calculator coordination.
3, 6, 5, 7, 8 plus 4, 2, 1 equals
you paid
divide. No, I don't know. He just started hitting buttons, but he was hitting divide and equals and things that.
So then why have a steering wheel? If they're just driving.
Well, no, it just tells you where to go.
Yeah,
it's the guidance system, not the driving system.
It doesn't.
So let me guess, Justin, that's why you keep having accidents when you use your GPS?
Yeah.
Hey, car, take me.
Because you haven't been using the calculator when you're driving.
So they blow up the diner. They get to Detroit. Got to stop for some parts.
At a junkyard.
Because it's made out of truck parts.
It could be... He's like, it's made out of truck parts. Any semi could work. And then he takes the rear axle off of a Jeep.
From what I know about semis, is they are all compatible with each other's parts. You can just pull the engine out from one and put it in the other.
Or just take the minor gear off of a Jeep. Because that's what he took.
Right.
Was the minor gear off of a Jeep.
It's just this one bit, and it's going to plug and play. It's just like a computer. But why? Because is anything broke? Nothing's broke.
It doesn't seem like it.
Landmaster's doing fine.
Anything.
No. It doesn't get, bumped into anything. It doesn't get shot at. Nothing bad happens to the Landmaster at all in this movie until they get to Detroit. But then nothing really bad happens to it there either.
No, a milk truck falls from the sky next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when the storm starts.
And then thank
milk
God
trucks start falling.
Well, that's
from the
what
sky.
happens when the Earth tilts itself to its proper axis.
Yeah, and then thank God that they had this watertight vehicle to save them, like Noah's Ark.
Just float along. But where does the water come from? Because they're in Detroit.
Oh yeah, I don't think.
So it's the Great Lakes.
Yeah, but they're already below the elevation of the cities. Otherwise. It's not New Orleans.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
There's no dam.
It was on top of a mountain.
Yeah, the water
is on top of a mountain.
The levee broke and here comes everything, but...
Yeah, that was so weird.
From?
Just suddenly water.
Just water.
Pictures of waterfalls, and then a whole lot of water.
It's like the start of a Coors Light commercial at the beginning of the flood. The water looks super clean and crisp and wild, and then all of a sudden it's mutated in red water when it gets to Detroit and floods them, and then all of a sudden it's all okay.
Yeah,
it's
and then
nice,
they get out of
clean,
the water,
crisp water again. 17
miles away from Albany, which means they drove a water car 3 miles an hour down the Erie Canal.
For 17 weeks.
I don't know how long you saw how fast the thing was going.
It was not going fast.
It was barely moving.
Detroit to Albany is no short distance, my friends.
No.
It is a ways. So they're floating along in their Noah's Ark bullshit machine, and at no point do any of these people eat food. Ever.
Yeah, no, Billy eats food.
A sucker.
No, she makes
got a
him
plate
food
of
when they
biscuits
first
and
talk him
gravy.
into going with.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. It's like slop.
Beef and biscuits.
That's what it looked
Beef
like.
and biscuits. What is that?
From A Star Is Born.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
what Barbra Streisand
We'll make you
makes.
some beef. Or wait, no, she makes beef and biscuits for him, not vice versa. He should have had that. Like, I'm gonna make us some beef and biscuits.
Beef and biscuits.
I'm Chris Christophers. I'll make beef and biscuits. She'll be like, what the hell is that?
Nobody eats beef and biscuits.
She's offering it, and my first question is that kosher?
Is that pizza? So they finally find land, which is like the most beautiful scenic land of all time. This whole time, upstate New York has not been in a nuclear holocaust. It looks just like it does today. Green, tall trees, clean water, birds are chirping, deer are frolicking,
And it's a plastic toy.
fish are jumping. Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah,
when it floats
when
up.
it floats up, when it resubmerges or not emerges from the water disaster, it's a plastic toy.
It looks pretty shitty. Yeah, they couldn't even make a metal model. It had to be plastic.
It was a floating turd.
Yeah, it was a floating turd with turds inside of it, posing as people. So they're on the island or on the shores
Land.
of the fresh shores of New York, and they pull out their super powered radio all of a sudden that they have, and they get a signal from some lady that says, we're here, talk to us. And so they do. And then Jan Michael Vincent's like, fuck it, I'm out of here, let's go, Billy, you're not even wearing a shirt, let's go.
17 miles is no small jaunt on a motorcycle.
It made it seem like it was just right around the
Over there.
corner.
Yeah, it's just right over there. And then there's like 50 people there. And they're all like in some sort of utopia.
It looks like the Little House on the Prairie, only with
Yeah.
telephone poles.
Yeah.
Like it's Oxnard, California or something.
Credits.
Credits. Movie's over.
Just ends.
Explains nothing about anything throughout the whole thing.
No.
Ever.
Other than you don't want to live in Canada because it's just littered now with debris.
Missile debris.
Yep. And you don't smoke in your cot.
That's
your
right.
nudie
Some
magazines.
fine lessons to be learned, but not anything about the movie itself.
You
No.
don't ever learn what the old PL... Actually, you do.
What?
The PLCA 99.
I think that's the name of the missile.
Oh, is because he says PLCA 99 like it's going to be, let's give these boys the old PLCA 99, which is
trick,
me
the old
shooting
routine.
them in the face.
Right.
Because that's what he does.
That's true. He does shoot them in the face first. Like that's out of the old the 123rd Strategic Missile Wing playbook.
Yeah. Yes, the PLCA 99. A fine choice. Very direct. You just shoot them in the face. None of this old switcheroo business. Just pull out your gun and shoot them in the face. Call it a day.
Push them out the back.
My
of the
favorite.
thing.
Haven't practiced that one in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what'd you guys think?
I thought it was about it was about how I remember it. They just kind of drive around for an hour and a half and it's over. It's kind of boring.
Yeah, it was super boring.
I like it.
That's only because they had CB Trucker talk, and we love CB Trucker talk.
It's a trucker
trucking
movie.
through the
I
wasteland.
love it. No, I don't love this movie.
Come back, CB Ford. Justin's like, I've got my little trucker hat. Hold on, let me go get it on.
Every trucker movie, I dress up in my outfit. All right, now we're talking. Yeah. So recommends.
No.
I think it's the smallest of dues. Like, it's a 0.5% over the dividing line from do to don't just because of the... It is early in the PA movies. A lot of other PA movies are done because of this, despite the fact that they do it to save money, whereas this one blew all of the cash. And ultimately, the scorpion thing at the beginning is pretty funny. But
I think it's a shining example of a turd.
it's a bad movie.
It's a turd
that people thought was going to be amazing.
that's kind of shiny. It's It's not Star is Born, which is just a big brown muddy turd. This is a nice solid turd, gilded in
peanuts. Peanuts in the turd.
Yep.
Not very many peanuts, though.
But they're high quality peanuts.
It's not packed with peanuts.
They're not almonds. They're cashews. Big shiny cashews. Yeah, no, I think it's I give it a recommend for bad movie fans. I don't give it a recommend for non-bad movie fans because there's no silly entertainment value like Invasion USA has.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of haywire.
It's just a bad movie that's like, wow, how do you fuck this up so bad? Like, how did this get made?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
And like, what did the screen? What are you trying to do here? There's a story to this movie because there's no story to the movie.
The screenplay had to be like 2 pages. They get in their bullshit machine and drive. Yeah, I don't know.
If they would have had a song at the end, like The Devil's Eight, it only would have been like 10 seconds.
Yeah. So people got in the car.
Around.
The end.
Yep, that's the song.
Top 1 hit. So what do we got coming next? You're going to do Malibu Express next, Sam?
Yeah.
Cool. That's a good pick. Lots of fun in that one, so we should have a good time. Follow us on Twitter at stinkermadness.com. Go to not stinkermadness.com. At Stinker Madness is our Twitter handle. And go to our website at stinkermadness.com. And in the meantime,
get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper.